Hi, I'm ElectroMaster, and today I'm going to show you how I repaired an inverter that failed after it was accidentally powered with a higher voltage, 400 volts instead of 230 volts. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. As you can see, the power supply section is severely damaged, showing clear signs of component failure caused by the overvoltage event. I desoldered the pins that connect the two boards. It was a very delicate operation because these devices are assembled very tightly and the joints are firmly secured to ensure both mechanical and electrical stability. I replaced all the damaged components, the capacitor, varistor, transistor, and the affected PCB traces. This step also took quite some time as each part had to be inspected, cleaned, and rebuilt to restore the system's proper functionality. Now I'm going to solder back the pins that connect the two boards. This step requires proper alignment of the boards and clean, solid solder joints to ensure both electrical continuity and mechanical stability. I'm checking the newly soldered circuits with the multimeter to ensure that all connections are correct and that there are no short circuits. I'm doing this step carefully to confirm that the entire assembly is functioning properly after the repair, and everything appears to be within expected parameters. I'm powering up the inverter, and as a precaution, I'm using an incandescent bulb in series with a live wire. This way, if there's an internal fault, the bulb will limit the current and prevent further damage, allowing the device to start up in a controlled and safe manner. As you can see, the display shows the code FA000, which indicates that the inverter is ready to start. I will use 3 incandescent bulbs connected in a star configuration instead of a motor. This is also a precautionary measure to prevent potential damage in case the IGBT transistors are not triggered correctly. As you can see, all 3 bulbs light up evenly, indicating that the inverter is functioning perfectly. And there you have it. The inverter is fully repaired and working perfectly. I hope you found it useful to see the step-by-step process of diagnosing and fixing it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more technical tutorials. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.